explaining to you the backstory of the character in my last roleplay, the girl in the mental hospital. I'm doing this because, well, first of all, I find it very interesting to know the creative thought process behind some art, but also because it might answer some of your questions and concerns, because obviously there was some controversy regarding this video. Okay, I was hesitating to do this video, not because I don't want to explain myself or anything, but simply because there's always misunderstanding on YouTube. I could say the sky is blue and people will misunderstand it, and you know, it will start a lot of crazy stuff. So that's why I didn't want to talk about it furthermore, because it will generate more controversy and more debate about it, which can be a bit annoying to everyone, but I wanted to explain it still because I know some people will appreciate it. So I'm just going to tell you the backstory of it, what I was thinking when I made the video. We kind of, when you create a role player character, you kind of imagine a backstory without really helping it, so there's not that much of a backstory. Like, she's not writing a book or making a movie about it, but you kind of create a backstory about a character without helping it. So that's what I had in my mind. So she's a crazy girl, and I know some people don't like that I use that word, and it's a bit controversial, but let's just use it for now, because just for consistency, okay? Because this is how I titled the video originally, and the word I was using in my mind originally. Okay, so let's just use it for consistency and we'll come back to it later. So she is crazy, she is messed up, she's done messed up things, negative things, and the vibe I had in my mind about her is kind of like Hannibal Lecter. I'm not sure if that's the exact name or the exact way to say it. I've seen that movie when I was really young and in French, because that's my first language. I'm not sure in English what his name is, but I'll insert it on the screen in case I'm not saying it right or that's not the right name. But this character, if you've seen him, I think everyone's seen the movie, you know, like messed up like that, and the way people feel towards him is negative in general. That's how, in general, I think people react to people like that. The way people feel towards people like that. This is another debate. Is someone a bad person because they've done bad things? Is someone a bad person because they've done bad things because they have mental issues? You know, those are all other debates we could have, but I just think in general, people will feel kind of off, kind of negative towards people like that. So this is just the initial way that the viewers feel towards this character, and just keep that in mind because it comes into play later. Okay? So she's like crazy, messed up. We feel off towards her. She ends up in a mental hospital because of the stuff she's done, and you know, needs help. So she ends up in the mental hospital, and she's lonely. She's alone in her room and stuff, and that's where there's a bit of a contrast that happens in the way that the viewers feel towards her, because we all of a sudden have compassion towards her, right? She's lonely and she finds ASMR and she really likes it and she loves the community and she wants to try it. There's this sort of pureness and, in a sense, these pure these pure good feelings, right, or intentions that come from her. So that's where a contrast happens, where we initially felt awe, felt negative towards her, and then there's, something lovely about her, or, there's just a contrast in emotions in the viewer. So I thought that was interesting. It makes you feel certain type of ways. So I don't know, thought it was interesting. So the video is very subtle. What you guys see, what we see in the video, is her first time doing ASMR, just making a video trying to do ASMR. So in the video, some people were saying, well, I don't get it, she's crazy because she's reapplying lip gloss, or there's nothing that comes off as crazy, like it. That's where for some people it seemed inappropriate that I would call her crazy in the title, because the original title was, if I haven't mentioned it, the original title was ASMR by a crazy girl in mental hospital. So I understand that because of that it seemed inappropriate to call her crazy. The video is you see her craziness in subtle ways, but it's not I don't know how you want to imagine crazy people, but the way I was imagining her was a bit like, as I said, Hannibal Lecter. They can compose themselves. She's a bit of a manipulative person kind of thing. They can act normal, but she's also a bit weird, and because also of the medication she takes, stuff like that. As you know, sometimes medication can make you act weird. I have not personal experience like myself. I've never been on medication and strong drugs like that, but like I have known people who have been on very hard pain medication, and it makes them act crazy. I know you don't like the word, but I don't know what other word to use. Makes them delusional and stuff like that. And I'm just telling you this because this I don't use the word traumatizing lightly, but this was slightly traumatizing for me, seeing someone like that, someone that I know. So I'm just telling you this because the intentions of the videos were not to bring like negative feelings about if you have experience like this or anything like that. Like I myself have experienced like this, and this was not the intention of the video. I think this is obvious, but I'm still mentioning it. So the video is not, there's a difference between a roleplay of a crazy, there's a difference between a roleplay that would be like a crazy psychopath thing, and this would be ASMR, versus what I did is a crazy person doing ASMR. Do you kind of get it? So it's not her being crazy, and it's not like it's not extravagant, it's not in your face thing, it's very subtle, and it's her doing ASMR. She's not being like, I'm sure there are role plays like that where the person is being crazy and saying they're gonna kill you and all kind of stuff like that, that's a different kind of thing. But what I was doing was, her background is she's crazy, but she's doing ASMR, so she's kind of able to so she doesn't come off as crazy. It's not extravagant, it's not in your face, it's very subtle. So her craziness comes, you can see it in very subtle ways. There's something off with her, she's a little weird, and you would not get it simply from the video that she's crazy. That's her background from the title. So the video is very subtle, and what's the word? I can't find it, but I'll insert it if I can find it. Whereas the title is very clear, and it's like this so that you can have the backstory of her, because just from the video you wouldn't get it. So the two things that I think were controversial in the title was that I used the adjective crazy, because I think to some people it seems like I was calling anyone with a mental illness crazy, but this is not the case. I'm not calling someone who has depression crazy. I'm not calling someone who has anxiety crazy, or you know what I mean. Crazy is a thing that exists, and this is her. She, the character I created, is crazy. This is how I created her. She is crazy, and it has the negative connotation, and that's her. There are crazy people that exist, or at least, anyway, maybe that's subjective, but I think a lot of us would describe some people as crazy because of the things they've done, like characters like Hannibal Lecter would be described as crazy. Her backstory that is, we don't know exactly, but she's crazy. The second thing is I mentioned that she's in a mental hospital. Now people were saying not everyone in a mental hospital is crazy. And I never said that, and there's nothing alluding to that in the video or in the title, you know. This is a story about this girl who is crazy and who is in a mental hospital, and there are crazy people in mental hospitals. We know that. But maybe to you, that's what you got from it. Maybe you didn't watch the video, and I'm saying this from experience. A lot of people comment before watching the videos. So maybe you didn't watch the video, maybe, you know, you got this because from your experience, because you've been in a mental hospital or someone you know, and you know it's a judgment you don't want to have. You don't want to be called crazy because you're in a mental hospital. I get it. But it's as if I made a role play of a murderer in prison, and I called it ASMR by a murderer in prison. I'm not saying everyone in a prison is a murderer, you know, but there are murderers in prisons, and there are crazy people in mental hospitals. So you know, there was nothing alluding to me saying that. So anyway, that was not the intention anyway. So the ASMR in the video is also interesting in my opinion, because you get, in a very subtle way, unintentional ASMR, and it's a kind of ASMR that a lot of people like. They like unintentional ASMR, and a lot of people will find this kind of ASMR often in videos of debuting ASMR artists, first ASMR videos and stuff like that, because to them it seems not as calculated as someone who's been doing ASMR for a long time. When we do ASMR for a long time, we become very aware of how gentle you have to be, everything like that. And when you first start, you're not so aware of that, so there can be some more roughness to the ASMR. It seems less calculated to some. It's a bit, it's different. It's a different kind of ASMR. So there was, in a subtle way, some unintentional ASMR, because it was a role play of a girl doing ASMR for the first time. It's kind of funny, obviously, because it's actually me doing it, so it's like intentional, unintentional ASMR, you know. But yeah, and there was also the fact that she's a bit weird, and she does weird things that can be ASMR worthy to some people. So again, this kind of unintentional ASMR is still happening, and she does weird things because she has mental conditions, so weird things that you wouldn't really, I don't know, that people who are being filmed maybe would avoid doing. I don't know. I thought the ASMR was interesting in that way, and it was also a bit of a joke, like saying she's impersonating me, because like as if maybe I'm the ASMR artist that she found, or like, it's funny because it's actually me. I don't know, it was kind of a joke, you know, you get it. So that's kind of the backstory of her. And also, I know a lot of people will say, why did you pick to do it about a girl in a mental hospital? You could have done it about anything. And of course it could have been a million other things. Could have been a farmer girl tries to do ASMR for the first time. Could have been a businesswoman doing ASMR for the first time. The way that it happened is not, the order in which things happen wasn't, oh, I want to do a roleplay about someone doing ASMR for the first time, what's gonna be her backstory, It didn't happen in this order. I don't know how I got the idea of a girl being in a mental hospital. Maybe it was something I saw that day, maybe a conversation, something. I don't know how you don't know how you get inspiration to do something, but I just had this idea of a girl who was lonely in a mental hospital in a room, and she found ASMR. This is kind of how the orders happened. So this is why it happened. I hope maybe it was interesting to you. As I've said, I'd like to know the thought process, or what an artist thinks of her creation, and maybe it did answer some of your concerns or questions. It obviously was not intended to bring controversy. This is not my channel. That's not what it's about, and it wasn't intended to hurt people. You guys know me. That's not the intention of these videos. Now I think there's just maybe difference of opinion when it comes to art being created with characters that have a background with mental issues and stuff like that. So this can be controversial issues, and I think most people didn't see a problem with it. From my experience, the video reviews were positive, and it's like a lot of movies are done like that, with characters with mental illness and stuff, or inspired by things like that, and even just different struggles that people go through. A lot of art is created from that, so there's always going to be controversy, and you're allowed to have your opinion and disagree, of course, and we can have healthy debates about that in the comment section. About I think it really just comes down to freedom of expression versus censoring yourself for and just because you don't want to offend people, things like that. So obviously there's a line, you draw a line somewhere, and we all draw the line at different places. So anyway, hope it explains it to you. I hope it was interesting. I hope it was fine doing the video again. There's always going to be misunderstanding about what I say. I could say the sky is blue and people will misunderstand. So, and I'm not very good at explaining myself or expressing the way I feel. So of course there will be misunderstanding. But yeah, hope no harsh feelings. Is that the way you say in English? No harsh feelings. No ill will. I don't know what the expression is in English, but you get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I hope you're doing fine, and there will be a lot of other videos coming anyway. Soon I have a fall haul coming, or maybe I'll post the fall haul before this video, I don't know yet. But a lot of new things coming. I wish you good dreams, and I just want to make it clear again that my intention is just to help and bring positive things with these videos. So I hope that you have nice dreams, good night of sleep, and positive things happening in your life. Good night. Sweet, sweet dreams.